I'm going to do a quick video today just talking about an issue that I've had some people reporting on their Palantirs. Over time with airballs, there's been some cases where the Palantir will shift to the right and the angle of the eye will change. And that's something that can be fairly easily corrected in newer versions. I've added some bonding to help prevent this, but depending on the version that you have, it definitely can happen. The best way to fix it is to apply some kind of a glue with flexibility in the area right here. It's the back left leg. There's a screw post in here, which is kind of hard to see, but it's basically right on the inside of this back left leg. And the idea is to apply some flexible bonding material in there. You could use something firmer, something like epoxy or super glue, but I don't think it would last as long. Definitely something with a little bit of flexibility I think is superior. I've been using this go-to glue. I like it a lot. It bonds to pretty much everything. It does have flexibility. You can get it at like the Home Depot or Lowe's. The only problem with it does take a while to cure, so you want to let it cure overnight. The idea here is to just apply some of this on this leg, on this back left leg. It's not an area that's really visible when the Palantir is in place, and you just want to get some kind of squirted in around that leg, and if you can, shoot some in back where that screw post is that I mentioned. And if you get too much or you get in a spot you don't like, you can always clean it up. Here you can see it. Pretty much isn't visible. It's pretty much disappeared, but it is. It's now holding that screw post in place. It's also holding the leg to the metal bracket on the bottom. You could also just use a standard silicone. This would work fine. You can get it clear. You can also find silicones in black. I would not use a white because that would stand out. Definitely want something that's thick enough to kind of fill the gap in there. And then once you have that glue in place, install the Palantir back in your machine. Relatively quickly before it starts to cure, and then line up the angle of the eye again. Stand in a plane position on the machine, and just line that up so that it points directly at you. One other issue while we're talking about alignment of the eye, I've had some people comment about if you're a taller or a shorter player. We assemble the Palantir to point in the direction of your typical standard player, but some people that are taller, have complained that the eye is not pointing directly at them. And I got a great tip from a pin sider. He suggested where this screw post is on the machine. When you mount the Palantir, there's a screw that comes up from the playfield here. You can add some washers right underneath the metal bracket there, and there's another screw post back here, and what that does is it just forces the Palantir up a little bit, and you can use that to adjust the angle of the eye without trying to do anything permanent to the Palantir that might damage it. One additional note, if you're having trouble getting the glue in on that inside leg on that screw post, you can use a toothpick here and get some of the silicone or the go-to glue, whatever glue it is that you're using. Again, make sure that's thick enough, but you can get that in there and just sort of wipe it on the inside of that screw post. It's really important to get it to get the glue applied across the base. You can kind of wipe the toothpick there on that screw post that's on the inside leg, and then up a little bit on the top. Just kind of mush it all around in there, and you'll get a nice bond.